These first few slides are just basically reference pages. So this is how we started our Dermaquest school program, and then benefits of experience. So all those are things that you guys can just read on your own. They aren't, and it isn't anything that's, life-changing. All right, so we are the world leader in plant stem cell technology, and we are always craving, we're looking, searching, constantly seeking innovative, quality, results-driven ingredients, and formulating those products that will, follow suit with that. So we really hang our hat on being able to not only provide you with plant stem cell technology, and I'll go into why that's important in a minute, and then also be able to just be at the forefront of what's new, what's innovative, what's happening in skincare. So at Dermaquest, we have something called the Dermacross Tri-Factor, and that is a combination of plant stem cells, peptides, and antioxidants. We find that these we have at least one of these in every single product that we produce. And the reason is that every single skin can use these. So for plant stem cells, we know that the benefits are that they support human stem cells. So what they do is every plant stem cell, I'll just give you the breakdown of how I talk about them. Every plant stem cell does three things. They are anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and they help speed the repair process of the skin. And the reason that they do that, the speeding of the repair process, is because they actually support, or kind of, I always say they're kind of like if you're starting up a lawnmower or a chainsaw. We've had a lot of trees down here lately, so chainsaws in my mind. But so, you have that kind of rev it up, get it going, and then it starts that, whatever it is that you want it to do, and you can start mowing the lawn. With plant stem cells, they act as that kind of, pull cord, and they trigger our own human stem cells to begin to work at a more efficient level. So that's where the healing comes in. That's where that optimizing of each and every cell comes from. It comes from that support we get from our plant stem cells. Now, if every plant stem cell does those three things, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and helps the repair process of the skin, then why would we use more than one? Because we use a lot of them. And I say because each one kind of has its own superpower. So they all do those three things, but then we get into, I took it up, what each and every plant stem cell does. So in this case, we have one in our stem cell rebuilding complex, and it's called Edelweiss. And I always say it's not just a song in the sound of music, but also a really hardy green plant that grows up in the Alps and in the Himalayas. So in these really extreme temperatures, these really aggressive weather conditions, and yet it stays green and vibrant and hardy, even though it's constantly bombarded by weather. So I say on a very simplistic level, that's what Edelweiss is going to do for your skin. It's a fortifier. It's going to strengthen your skin, kind of get it back on track, give it that backbone, that it needs, so we can move forward. So each individual plant stem cell has its own superpower. Edelweiss's superpower would be fortification. We use Madonna lily plant stem cell, and that one actually helps to block the transfer of melanin from the melanocyte to the keratinocyte. So it basically blocks the transfer of melanin, the color in the skin, right, from where it's made to where it can be seen. So I think that's a superpower for sure. So we've got lots of benefits from not only plant stem cells, but then we move into our peptides. Peptides are created by a chain of amino acids. I oftentimes refer to them as kind of their own alphabet. There's 20 amino acids, and say if you think of that like an alphabet, say you pull out the letters C, A, B. We know that that means cab. We're driving down, we've got New York City cab, we're ready to go, right? We know exactly what that means and what it's going to do. Now we take that 3-letter word, we pull out the B from cab, and we put in T for cat. And now our cab is now a cat. So it has completely changed what the function of this thing is based on just one small change. So that's how on a very, again, simplistic level, the peptides are working. They send a signal, they create a messaging system between the brain and the muscles of the skin, or the skin in general. And what that means is that we're going to see a change in the skin. That alphabet is able to, we can mix and match and create all sorts of peptide chains or amino acid chains that can do a multitude of things on the skin. So some of those things would be producing collagen. Some would be a neurotransmitter inhibitor. So we block that message from our brain to those muscles to overuse, especially here around the eyes, around the mouth, overusing those muscles, creating deeper lines and wrinkles, because we know that that's primarily where wrinkles come from. So we've got that lessening. We're not deadening the face. It's not like, I'm so happy to see you. It is that you still are able to move your face, but we're just not letting it go quite as deep. So we can actually, again, keep those wrinkles that you have from getting worse while we're working to build some collagen to smooth them out, and hopefully helping to kind of stave off those wrinkles that we know as we age are bound to happen. So it's a win-win there. So we've got our collagen builders, we have our neurotransmitter inhibitors, we have pigment eveners, so they help to even out that pigmentation in the skin, and we have anti-inflammatory peptides, so they actually help with circulation and get that puffiness that we have, that we can definitely acquire, especially around the eyes or the cheeks, and get that moving as well. So they do, quite a few things that are extremely beneficial to the skin. Next, we have our antioxidants. So the way that antioxidants work, we know that they help to protect us against free radicals. Free radicals are, we take a stable molecule that has all of its electrons, and that free radical comes and it steals that away. And now we've got this unstable. I always say, think of a free radical kind of like like an unbalanced washing machine. Goo goo, goo goo, goo goo. It's still going around in a circle, kind of, but it's definitely not optimal, and it's not working the way that we want it to, and it's not benefiting anything. So what we do is we try then to take from an antioxidant. They kindly lend us one of their electrons, balances out that free radical, and now it's a restabilized healthy cell. So that's, again, very simplistically how those molecules become a free molecule or free radical, and then move back into being stabilized through the help of antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E is another one as well. So, and then our last kind of info piece here is our Infra Guard. So in our sheer zinc, which we'll be talking about today, sheer zinc is our SPF, and it has, in the old days, we had something called elixir in our sunscreens, all of our sunscreens. And what it did is it actually absorbed and bounced back those infrared rays, which are completely invisible to the naked eye, but they can damage the skin pretty far down into almost to the epidermal dermal junction, and really cause some damage there. So, and the heat in the skin also causes pigmentation, expands those capillaries, right? And I always say capillaries, between us ladies, I always say capillaries kind of like that elastic in your underwear, right? It can only take so much, back and forth, back and forth. Then finally it's like, I've had enough. I can't. Stop eating cookies, please. So, and then it just goes, right? And so then we start to see that blood come to the surface of the skin. And the only way that we can do anything to improve that condition is to cauterize that with a laser and, keep that blood flow from coming to the surface. So if we can keep that heat down in the skin in the first place, then we're able to keep that skin really fresh, healthy, and we kind of lose some of those broken capillaries that, or we don't lend ourselves to having more of those broken capillaries. So we've taken elixir though out of our sunscreens. Why? Because we've got something even better. Remember, we're always trying to do the next level, most innovative, most beneficial for our client's skin. And what that is Infra Guard. Infra Guard is a combination of terratannins, which comes from this thorny bush that grows in Peru. It also grows in South Africa. And it's full of powerful antioxidants. So we know the benefits of those, and helps to neutralize free radicals similar to a vitamin E, which is one of our absolute number one antioxidants for the skin. So we want to make sure that people really understand why antioxidants are so important, and especially now with that reference to Infra Guard. So next, we have our organic sunflower sprouts, and that's the second component to Infra Guard. That activates the ATP in the skin. That's that, again, pull cord. It's kind of that energy. It's the energy level of the cell. It's like, come on, guys. It's like Richard Simmons trying to get people up. Go, go, go. And it gets those cells working and gets them very excited. And so they want to do their job, and they want to do it really, really well. So that's what our sunflower sprouts are doing. They also help to protect the ECM, which is that kind of invisible netting that happens, that we have kind of in our face, that keeps our face here instead of here. So there's lots of benefits, but the two together actually protect against oxidative stress caused by light exposure. They also help to protect against IR. So now we don't need elixir to do that. We've got something that protects against IR and then some. So IR and blue light. So all of us are getting blue light exposure. Sunita is actually getting 2 times because she's got her iPhone and her computer. So you're suffering for your art, Sunita. You're suffering for your art. I understand it. So, so what that does is it actually starts to not only break the skin down, just like UV would, but it also lends itself to more pigmentation in the skin. So we also, Infra Guard can protect against damage caused by pollution, helps to prevent against collagen breakdown. And studies have actually shown that people who have put on Infra Guard and gone, they have their skin tested, they put on Infra Guard, they go out in the sun for a set amount of time, they come back, they get their skin tested again, because we're trying to see what the efficacy of Infra Guard is. When those people come back in from having sun exposure, their skin has not stayed the same. It didn't just balance out and it was like, well, it was like they were never in the sun. Their skin actually improved. So while Infra Guard is protecting our skin, it's actually also improving our skin at the same time, because we are activating that ATP. We're getting those cells energized and ready to go, really wanting to do their job and do it well. And then we've also got these really powerful antioxidants in here as well, keeping that skin calm and healthy. So Infra Guard is going to protect against IR, blue light, and pollution, all in one easy product. So now you can see that this is actually comes from the brochure from the maker of Infra Guard. So they are showing you that our UVB ray only gets down into the epidermis, but we know that that's the burning ray, and the burning ray can cause cancer. So we know that it's working only on those surface layers, but still needs protection. UVA is going to penetrate a little bit deeper into the dermis. We know that's the aging ray. And then we have our blue light ray that almost penetrates down into the hypodermis, causing damage at that level. So we see why it's really important for us to have this protection on multiple levels. And then as of 2021, all of our sunscreens contain our Infra Guard, along with essential moisturizer also has it. So I always say that you can lay in bed. I'm not laying in bed with my sunscreen on because I'm a responsible esthetician and I wash my face every night. So I don't have my sunscreen on. I'm not protected. But when I wear my essential moisturizer, I am protected because it's got that extra blue light protection. So I can lay in bed and look at my phone all I want. So we have lots of really great benefits that come from this ingredient.